action figures are great!
Welcome to the newest edition of T&I News with your host, JayC. Hey, what's up, everybody? JayC here, and welcome to another live stream. We've got a lot to cover today. It is Monday, and we're just one day out from the new Hasbro G.I. Joe live stream kicking off YoJoe June. So hopefully you guys had a good weekend. I didn't do a whole lot this weekend. I did manage to catch Godzilla -1 on Netflix. I'd been hearing a lot of good things about that movie. I did watch the movie with the English dubbed in voices. I can't stand watching movies with subtitles, so I did the English dubbed in voices. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I get the appeal of it. I'd seen some people online after watching it saying, like, I don't get why people like this movie so much better than other Godzilla movies. But to me, and I could be wrong, I'm not like a huge Godzilla fan, but I grew up watching, the old Godzilla movies on television on the weekends and stuff. And I feel like this movie did a good job of kind of capturing that look and feel while still being modern. Not quite as modern. Obviously, this still took place, right after World War II and stuff. So it wasn't set in the present time, but as far as special effects go, it was still very modern, but still again kind of captured that feel of those old classic Godzilla movies that I think a lot of us grew up, watching on TV and stuff. So if you are a Godzilla fan at all and you have Netflix and you haven't seen Godzilla -1, I do recommend that you check it out. I've not watched yet the newest Godzilla Kong movie. That's on home release as well, but I have not yet watched that one. So I felt like those are a little iffy. I like the series, the Apple TV series that they did. They kind of started to fill in some of the gaps for those movies. But the movies themselves, I don't know. They've got good, monster fighting scenes, but story-wise, I thought the movies were kind of weak. So let's just before we jump into news, let's do a quick roll call, see who's here. So we've got Eric Ellman in the house. What is up? Lone Dragon wants to know if I'm still using the studio audience. A little bit. Not too bad. Hopefully it didn't piss you off too much, but though honestly, I don't know why that annoys some people. I mean, I get if it's like you don't think it's funny or whatever, but it's just freaking sound effects, dude. Anyway, another Jay's in the house. Nothing, not that I know of. I don't really collect any or even really follow religious action figures. I know there's some out there, but not really my thing. Lone Dragon. Well, I guess I'll check back again in a few months. Mr. Allmine is in the house. What's up? Zim is in the house. What's up? Quinn Comics in the house. Getting you in the middle of the day, huh? Hope you're doing good as well. Hope the store is doing good. Judge Dreads is in the house. Eric's in the house. Let's see, Rashid's in the house. Getting home just in time. I saw Godzilla -1 last night. Loved it. Legit tears at the end. yeah. I don't know. Did it bring me to tear? I thought it was a pretty good ending. Of course, I don't want to give away spoilers, but I'm like at the end, like, did they really think that they had seen the last of Godzilla? Come on. Big Rib, what's up? Hope I'm doing well. I am doing pretty good. Hope you're doing well is good. Jason, what's up? Jesse H. Saw the movie in both English dub and the original format. It was good in both versions. Yeah, I just, like I say, I can't. A movie where you got to read through it the whole time, I can't do it. I just, anything where, and actually, I didn't even realize it. Somebody had posted online and I had seen where it was like, oh, because somebody was talking about it being, subtitles. And I was like, and then somebody else had said, oh, well, you can just switch it over to English in the settings, because I thought it was actually two different versions of the movie, but you just go into your Netflix settings in the movie and change it to English. So I was happy to do that. Judge Dredd says, I don't have Netflix. I don't know if they're doing like a DVD release of that movie or not. Brant is in the house, wants to talk GI Joe. So yeah, let's get into some news. So um, it is YoJoe June with a live stream tomorrow, 11 a.m. with Hasbro. We are also going to be getting pre-orders tomorrow, but of course, we started getting some leaked images here. So let me jump over. So Cobra Stinger officially confirmed with this package image that leaked out online. Um, and I won't say this 100%, but indications would suggest that this is going to be released beyond just Hasbro Pulse. Most of the G.I. Joe classified figure or vehicles have been some type of store exclusive, mostly being Hasbro Pulse. So we will see, but it is looking like this Cobra Stinger might be available pretty much everywhere. I have not confirmed that. I have not reached out to confirm whether places like Big Bad Toy Story, Entertainment Earth will be carrying this, but I've seen essentially people indicating that they've been allowed to uh, pre-order this, so or order this for their stores. So just chatter online. So um, yeah, we'll see. That's kind of interesting, but not surprising that they're doing the Cobra Stinger, since it is just taking the basic body of the Cobra Vamp and modifying it a bit. And I would guess that we're going to get a Vamp Mark II at some point, the beige Vamp with the missiles at some point as well. I would not be surprised if we don't see that. I'm going to assume, I don't remember specifically, but I'm going to assume they redid one of these Jeeps in like either Tiger Force or Python Patrol colors. So Target exclusive, I could see coming as well. Um, but yeah, definitely this one I am going to be adding. Also, we got to look at this retro cardback Cobra Soldier. So I'll probably, I don't know. I have several Cobra. I got both the Target exclusive ones and then the regular release ones. I don't really know if I need any more Cobra Soldiers, so I might pass on this one. But that should be both of these should be going up for pre-order tomorrow, as I understand it. So, and then I talked about this on Friday, but we had seen listings for the retro Cobra Commander finally is going to be going up for pre-order, with some indications by some folks in suggesting that we could see a hood. I don't know if it's going to be a hooded Cobra Commander figure, assuming these rumors turn out to be true, or if it's going to be the Cobra Commander like we got with the his tank with the regular Cobra symbol, but then including the extra hooded Cobra. That's what I would love to see. I just knowing Hasbro. I mean, to me, that just seems like too easy of a figure to release twice and get your money out of that sculpt. So, doing the regular battle armor or battle helmet Cobra Commander and then the hooded Cobra Commander is two different figures. I feel like that's how Hasbro will do it, but who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us and give us the extra head with the one figure. And unfortunately, that images for that figure have not leaked out yet. We'll see if they leak out before tomorrow's live stream, but so far nothing. Judge Dreads, every vehicle is going to be $100. I don't know what the price on the Stinger is going to be. It's possible. I won't swear to it, but if this Stinger is a general release, that might help bring the price down a little. I mean, I'm going to guess it's going to be priced around what the Vamp was, but again, if it's a general release, then maybe that might bring the price down a little bit more. I don't know. We'll have to see tomorrow when it goes up for pre-order. So again, pre-orders tomorrow will be at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Live streams at 11 a.m. and then pre-orders um, at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Just going over this list again that I talked about on Friday. which were originally put out there by Thuruckus and Terry Ruin. Heads up by the folks at the Full Force podcast for bringing this list to our attention. But Storm Shadow version 2, Alpine, which we know is coming because that's one of the ones Hasbro's told us is coming, but we'll get our first look at Alpine tomorrow. An Iron Grenader and then an Iron Grenader Bat. So I don't think there was ever an Iron Grenader Bat. I think that's kind of made up new. I don't know why it's funny we're getting like Iron Grenader and yet we've yet to get Destro, the Iron Grenader version of Destro. So that's kind of weird. The Mad Marauder Sergeant Slaughter, which I'm going to talk about more here in a minute because we do have more information on that one. And then 60th anniversary Marine and a 60th anniversary Halo Jumper. So I'm assuming those are going to be generic type Army characters like the other two 60th anniversary figures. Though I am hoping that with the Halo Jumper, maybe there are some parts, a head sculpt or something, so we can essentially give us a ripcord figure. If we can consider the 60th anniversary Halo Jumper as ripcord, then I might get it. I'm not really that keen on the generic soldier figures. I know some people are, but for me personally, like I didn't get the first two 60th anniversary ones. And then, like I say, unless Halo Jumper is, can be used as ripcord, I probably wouldn't. I guess the Marine could be Leatherneck too, but I would imagine if they're going to do Leatherneck, I don't think Leatherneck is one that they've named. I lose track with all the names that they've put out there, but I don't think Leatherneck is one. But I would imagine that if they were going to do a Leatherneck figure, they would do it just as Leatherneck. Ripcord was kind of an obscure character, at least in the comics. He got better notoriety in the movies, even though they changed the character quite a bit in the movies. But I remember the comic book story with Ripcord where he got shot. Or no, he didn't get. Storm Shadow got shot. He was there on Cobra Island. God, that's been a long time since I read that story, the Cobra Island story. But he had a decent role in that storyline. All right, so so some images popped up. This wave is, the Doc figure has already gone up for pre-order, so looks pretty good there. I mean, it's not a great image, but looks pretty good. I don't know the original source of these images. You can see this little cat emoji, but I'm guessing one of the Asian sites is where these came from, but I don't know. So we had seen these Marauder 2-packs before, but these are kind of better looks at them. The Sergeant Slaughter I think is definitely going to be going up tomorrow. I don't know if this 2-pack is going to be going up tomorrow as well. I would think they would do them kind of all at the same time, but I won't swear. And I've seen reports of the shipping data showing that those Marauder figures have actually already landed here in the U.S. So the pre-order window for these Marauder figures probably will not be a long one. Torch, which is another one I think a lot of us are waiting on to complete our original 3 Dreadnoks. But getting back to Sergeant Slaughter, so this image we saw before, which shows Sarge with no hat and glasses on. But then Sergeant Slaughter himself yesterday took to Twitter and basically said that this one that doesn't have the hat and glasses was the original figure Hasbro was going to release, but he did not approve it. I guess he wanted his hat on and his glasses on in the packaging. So the Hasbro went back and did that. And so there's actually going to be 2 different versions of this. So it's essentially the same figure, but in the package, one's kind of like a variant. So people are into that kind of thing. This is supposed to be the more widely released figure with the hat and glasses. This is the one that Sergeant Slaughter actually approved to be released. But I guess apparently some of those earlier figures slipped out. So there is going to be a limited run of those figure versions without the hat and glasses that will end up getting released. So if you're like collecting for value in any way, and you want a harder to find figure, and I don't know, I don't have any specific numbers, so but I guess the one without glasses and the hat on is going to be harder to get than the regular version, supposedly. But there will be two versions out there, so it wasn't a planned chase per se, but according again to Sergeant Slaughter himself, it basically was a case where he didn't approve it, and then the figure went out before they could change it, and so there's a limited number that will be out there. And he has his duffel bag, yeah. Now I've seen some people complaining that like they wanted him. They don't like that Sergeant Slaughter is the legs on this Sergeant Slaughter, like this the green and the black. Like people were hoping that it was going to be like a camo pattern. So I don't remember the original figure. So this is honestly for me, these repaints I probably will pass on these broader figures. I mean, I remember them wearing it in the series where Cobra Commander came back to life. I think that's the only time they wore these outfits. But I'm pretty happy with my classic Sergeant Slaughter. So um, I don't know if I'm going to get these repaints. But yeah, so that's what we know so far for GI Joe. Now, I would not be surprised if between now and tomorrow at 11 a.m. more images of stuff that's going up for pre-order tomorrow and stuff don't leak out uh, as they often do. So we'll have to see. I would be willing to bet that out of package images for the Stinger will end up popping up online early. The one I want to see the most is the retro carded Cobra Commander. That's the one out of the ones that we've seen listings for that are likely going to be talked about tomorrow. The retro card back Cobra Commander is the one I am most interested in. Mad Marauders doc. I have not heard anything about a Mad Marauders doc, but if if it's feasible for Hasbro to repaint a figure, then I would say the chances are very high. So especially if these initial Marauder figures sell decently, I would not expect them to be the last ones that they do. I don't know why Optimus Prime isn't a Rolling Thunder or APC makes more sense. Still working for Tank Optimus and Sergeant Slaughter Cup combo. Yeah, I've lost track. I know both of those were rumored, but I'm trying to remember if either one of those have been officially announced yet. Um, I don't think they have, but I think to your question about the APC, I agree with you that it makes the most sense, but I think a tank is going to be a vehicle that people are going to find more, cooler than just the APC. So my guess is that's why they wouldn't have done the APC. As far as like translating something that a semi truck into something that correlates somewhat with a military vehicle, I agree the APC makes the most sense, but I think they were going for something that people were just going to say, "Oh, look, that's a really cool tank," um, as opposed to a transport vehicle. CJ, everyone wants to see what Cobra Commander it will be, but Alpine is equal to. Oh, well, don't get me wrong. As far as Alpine, I mean, like I expect it's going to look very much like his original look. Um, but that is one I definitely plan on, pre-ordering when it goes up. So Alpine is a figure, to go along with Bazooka and Quick Kick, is one I definitely want to get. It's just I pretty much have in my head a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like. So as far as like seeing it, it's not quite as exciting to me, but definitely one up there on my want list. It saddens me that GI Joe's given up on 118 GI Joe except for crossovers and licensing other people. Well, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think they sold very well for Hasbro. They tried to do the bring the O rings back. They did the Sky Striker HasLab. But they were expensive, which I think is the biggest drawback to that scale these days. And then Super Seven's going to give us O ring figures, so you will be getting something. They're just Hasbro's going to let someone else do it. But again, especially with it being Super 7, I don't expect those figures to be terribly cheap. They're not going to be as expensive as a Super 7 Ultimate 6-inch figure, but they're still, for a 4-inch figure, they're not going to be cheap. And I guess for me personally, I still have all my 25th anniversary GI Joe figures on display on a shelf in my office upstairs. I had the Sky Striker on display, the HasLab Sky Striker back there on display. Um, but I personally have just kind of moved on to 6-inch figures. I have, mainly because they did so many of the characters in the 25th anniversary and the lines that followed that were in that same style. I never had like this huge loyalty to the O-ring itself, the O-ring design. I was pretty happy with the 25th anniversary updated articulation and stuff when they released that line back in the day. So um, and everybody collects for different reasons and stuff, but I guess for that scale, I'm pretty satisfied personally for what I already have. All right, so let's see what other news besides GI Joe. And of course, we'll talk more on Wednesday about everything that actually gets revealed. McFarlane. So McFarlane kind of let it slip out on their website that they are going to be doing a Batman Beyond Batmobile of some type. So this image is for reference only. Um, so I don't know if this is how it will look, but again, um, how we know this is they're doing one of their digital releases of Batman Beyond, but when you go to that page on the McFarlane store for that digital release of Batman Beyond, and you scroll down here, it talks about hold any Batman. Oh wait. Yeah, down here it says fall 2024, 25% off upcoming Batman Beyond Batmobile at the McFarlane store. So, they haven't officially announced it, but they did list it here on this page that they're doing a Batman Beyond Batmobile. So I'm assuming we will get more details in the coming weeks on that. But and Todd has pretty much said in interviews and stuff that he wants to do pretty much every Batmobile that's been out there, especially every movie and like probably cartoon too. So it's not really surprising that they're doing it, but it'll be interesting to see like if this will be really made more for like the DC Direct figures, or if these will be more for DC uh, multiverse figures. Now all the vehicles that they've done or are doing, for like the DC Direct stuff, those were vehicles that were already put out by DC Direct. They just reissued them, including the Joker Mobile, which was created by DC Direct, but then got pulled before they could release it because DC Direct was shut down by Warner Brothers. But DC Direct never had as far as I know, have never had a Batman Beyond Batmobile. So this would be the first, if this ends up being for the DC Direct line as opposed to DC Multiverse, this would be the first vehicle that McFarlane has actually completely done by themselves, not just something that they reissued that DC Direct had already done. For you Tumblr fans, we've got an RC one coming from Spin Master. So these images come via the German Amazon website. So I talked about the Batwing and the '89 Batwing and Batman figure for their 4-inch line last week. So, but they've got a new tumbler coming as well, which is part of Batman's 85th anniversary. So um, it's not available for purchase, but images leaked out on Amazon, the Amazon Germany website. Let's jump over to Marvel. So nothing really new on Marvel Legend front from last week. I told you guys last week that this week's pre-order is going to be the Scar figure, which goes up on Thursday, so 1 p.m. Eastern time. So the new Scar, they showed this off at their last live stream, so we'd seen this figure already. But again, pre-order Thursday. If you want to get the Target exclusive Sam Wilson as Captain America, it had been sold out for a bit, but it is currently in stock on Target's website. Many of the physical stores are also getting it. I actually picked one up for myself this weekend at my local Target. So it is the same figure, the same Sam Wilson figure that we got previously. So pretty much the figure itself is a reissue, but you get this updated Sam Wilson Captain America shield, and then the wings that were missing on the original figure are included on this one. So it is a backpack, which has a really long peg piece so it doesn't fall off easily. And then the wings, they just connect. So you've got this piece that goes up and down, and then these wings that just pop in that give you some back and forth movement there. So overall, I thought this was a decent figure. I know some people were upset that Hasbro didn't give us an updated sculpt for this one, but I thought it was decent enough. And being a big Captain America fan, I have the original one, but I wanted one with wings, and I also like the, Sam Wilson's own unique shield. So I wanted to get that. The shield does not fit on the back unless you take the backpack off. So you can either have the shield on the back or you can have the wings on the back, but you can't have both. But again, that figure is in stock on Target's website now. So if you want to get it, if you haven't, it is available now. And just to note, that figure, the pre-orders on that figure had sold out. So like we've seen with other Target exclusives like the Carnage and the Warbird figure. So hopefully when those figures come into stock, just like with the Sam Wilson Captain America, though I probably am going to guess that being this was just a straight up reissue with the wings and stuff, that this one might not be as popular as, say, the Carnage or even the Warbird. So, but hopefully when those figures actually come in stock, just like with the Sam Wilson Cap, they will be much more readily available as opposed to the pre-orders that sold out very quickly. Judge Dredd says, I would need another toy room to collect vehicles. Yeah, it is not easy. And the more vehicle, I love these G.I. Joe vehicles, but the more vehicles that they do, definitely the harder it is to find room. I have a lot of vehicles back there. I have my Vamp Jeep over here in the shelf with the actual figures, but there's not much room. I definitely can find a place. Like I didn't get the mobile missile system for the his tank, which you can see behind me there, because I just didn't have the room for it. So it was a little bit on the pricey side, but it was more I just didn't have the room for it, so I didn't end up getting that. But I'll find a place for the Stinger and the Dragonfly. I'll probably hang the Dragonfly from the ceiling. That's my plan with that one. So I'll find some place to hang it. But yeah, it's great seeing the vehicles, but at the same time, the more they do, the harder and harder it is to find space for them. Judge Dredd did get the tan tumbler, nice, from Amazon. Receipt says Captain Falcon came in the mail yesterday. I wanted the Carnage and Red Chun-Li for Target, but no. So the Chun-Li is listed on Target's website, but I am pretty sure it has not yet come into stock. So let me double check that. Yeah, so Red Chun-Li is listed on Target's website now. It went up this weekend, but I've not seen any indication that's been made available. So I'm going to guess that that's going to be happening soon. But as of right now, it is. I don't think there has been any pre-orders at all for this figure yet, and I suspect that the figure is going to start hitting shelves. I don't think, and somebody might correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think this figure has actually been found anywhere in the U.S. All the people that you see having it, I think, ordered it from people overseas. So I don't think this figure has actually seen U.S. release yet, but it is listed on the Target website now, so it should be going up soon. Also, just to switch gears for you Masters of the Universe fans, if you're trying to get that second, oh, well, that's weird. Okay. Huh. Well, this set was on the Target website this weekend, but it looks like it might have been pulled. So I'm not sure what's up with that. This is a Target exclusive. So the Skeletor one has already been out on shelves. In fact, it's been kind of warming the pegs from what I could tell. So I don't think this will be hard to get when it comes out. But if you're a Stranger Things He-Man fan, that's coming soon. But jumping back to Street Fighter, so back in January, I talked about this. We're getting these, player 2 versions, a pink Chun-Li, so not to be mistaken with the Target red one, but pink, uh, Evil Ken, and Fei Long alternate colored version. So we'd seen the digital renders for those, but now thanks to Preternia, who I guess somebody he was buying Fortnite figures from had these in hand already and offered to sell him one. So he's got one coming to him. Laser Pants also got a hold of images of the pink Chun-Li figure. So the Chun-Li is pretty much, I think, just a straight up repaint, but like the Ken is a deluxe type figure. So you get like the gas cans, a broken one and a full one. So it's not just like a straight reissue. It's like a deluxe version with more accessories. So I don't know if this will be a San Diego Comic Con exclusive or it might be released straight through the Jada Toys website. I remember in an interview, I forget who the interview was with, but I remember that somebody from Jada Toys was saying how these, like they weren't showing them off, but they did mention that they were going to be doing these kind of repaints, and it suggested these were going to be offered through their next level. I think that's what they call it, next level website. So, but this one might be a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. I don't know. We'll have to wait until Jada Toys officially announces them. But I guess some overseas sellers are already starting to get these in hand, which often is the case with the Jada Toy stuff. Let's see what else we got. If you're into Mondo stuff, we've got another variant of their soft vinyl Scareglow figure. So this is going to be offered starting tomorrow on the Mondo website. So this is going to be a pretty limited release, this variant version. But again, if you're into that type of thing, you might want to check that out. Let's go back to McFarlane. So more listings have popped up online. Um, a lot of these I've talked about already, but I just because sometimes I lose track of what's been already reported on and not. So this overseas retailer Dragon's Chest has put out these new listings, which these almost all they've not been officially confirmed by McFarlane, so we'll technically consider it rumor, but almost always these end up being true. So we've got a new Cyborg figure from DC Rebirth, Effigy from Green Lantern, a Chase. I assume that means like Platinum Edition, though you would think there'd be a regular version to go with it, and some there are, but some it just says Chase, so I'm not sure. Red Hood, a modern version. I already talked about the Batmobiles from Batman Forever, the glow in the dark one, and then the regular version with Alfred. The Shining Knight figure I've talked about before, the Question figure, which here is being listed again as a Chase, so that might mean there's a Platinum Edition version for him coming. Talon and Nightwing and Owl from the Court of Owl storyline, a 3-pack is coming. That's going to be a gold label, so it'll be some type of store exclusive. Sinestro with Parallax armor is coming, and that's again going to be some type of store exclusive. Commander Steel from the JSA, I think I've reported on that one before. Batman Last Night on Earth, a Jokerized figure, Batman Superman World's Finest, Chase, and then a regular version. Hugo Strange's Batman, I've talked about that one. I talked about that one last week, and that has listed as a Chase, so I guess Platinum version. Bullseye Batman, same thing, Chase. Dick Grayson as Batman will definitely have a regular version and a Chase version or Platinum edition. The Jokerized Joker Dragon that'll glow in the dark, which my money is on that being an Amazon exclusive. Armored Batman from Dark Knight Returns, Patina Gold Label Edition, Deathstroke from DC Rebirth, the Frostbite story, Harley Quinn, another Harley Quinn, Jokerized, and Hush Jokerized, which is being listed as a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. Figures with comics, we've got Robin, Damian Wayne from Batman Reborn, and Deathstroke from DC Rebirth. For you 89 Batman fans, I think Todd actually showed this off at the Arizona Comic Con the other weekend, but looks like it's going to be a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. But Batman's cowl, or basically his mask from the 89 movie. For you animated series fans, Lightning Strike Batman, Christmas with the Joker, which if these are just reissues of the DC Direct one, like this Joker figure comes with a Christmas tree, because I have that figure. Not sure what the Lightning Strike Batman is. Batgirl, Two-Face, and then the Poison Ivy Livewire Supergirl 3-pack. I've talked about that one before. For Batman New Adventures, a 3-pack Batman, Mutant Leader, and Robin, Legends of the Dark Knight. So I'm not sure. New Adventures 3-pack. So under the New Adventures line, but basically the Dark Knight, from the Dark Knight, we're getting Batman, Mutant Leader, and Robin. Batman and Solomon Grundy from Arkham City. So I believe that's a new listing. I don't think I've reported on that one. Going to be some type of store exclusive. Now, I was thinking about the DC Direct Solomon Grundy, but I'm gonna guess it's not gonna be as big as the DC Direct one. But collector edition figures, Huntress, another Green Lantern, not sure which one, Batman from Dark Knight Returns, the Jonah Hex with General 2-pack. I've talked about that one. Movie Maniacs, or not movie, but Music Maniacs. So we're getting a Slash figure and then Freddie Mercury. So those, I guess that's the next wave of Music Maniacs. Another Pacific Rim figure. So these are smaller, but we're getting another. That's going to be some type of store exclusive. 5-inch Walking Dead figures, which I've talked about before. A World of Warcraft multi-pack, which is going to be some type of store exclusive. And then House of Dragon, Game of Thrones. So McFarlane's done the dragons from these shows, but this looks like actual figures. Though they're listed as collector box, so I don't know if it's like, I don't really know anything other than the names here, so I don't know if these are going to be like a dragon and a figure. I don't know what scale these figures would be. I know nothing about these other than it looks like we're going to be getting some figures from the new HBO series House of Dragon, and then a couple from the original Game of Thrones, Jon Snow and Targaryen. So, and they're listed as collector boxes, so that's weird. But hopefully we'll get more details on that in the near future. But that's your latest round of McFarlane listings, leaked listings. It seems like every week there's a new batch of listings. No, I've never gotten a copyright strike from Viper Island or anybody for that matter. But then I also am very careful to leave the drama bullshit off this channel. And I also, anytime I talk about someone else, information from somebody else, even if it's somebody I don't like, I credit them as a source with not only mentioning them in the video, but then I also put a link to them in the video description below. So you'll see links to people I've talked about today in the video description below. So in other words, I'm not too worried about copyright strikes. I also have the ability to actually hire lawyers if somebody tried to pull bullshit like that, which, if need be, I would do. All right, so that is pretty much all I have for you guys today. Again, YoJoe June, I guess we could say, officially kicks off tomorrow with the live stream and the pre-orders. Though honestly, I mean, we're calling it YoJoe June, but I'm not sure after tomorrow how much GI Joe stuff we're going to be getting for June. We'll have to see, but I tend to doubt we're going to get any additional live streams from Hasbro, especially with San Diego Comic-Con coming up in July. So they got to kind of piece this stuff out because they can't reveal too much this month because they got to have some stuff to reveal during Comic-Con. So it's kind of funny we call it the whole month, but my guess is really tomorrow is the big day for GI Joe. The Final Fight figures look cool. I we have that story up on TNI, but I have not. So just so people know what I'm talking about here. So from 52 Toys for figures, these are 3.75-inch scale figures. So these are about 4-inch, give or take. But yeah, if you're into that scale, these definitely look kind of cool. I don't know. It said that they feature about 20 movable joints, so about 20 points of articulation. Come with accessories. So some close-ups of the figures. But I don't know what the price on these are or even how much availability these are going to have. But definitely, if you're into video game figures and you like the smaller scale, those look pretty cool. For we got some in-hand images. Actually, you can go to the site and check that out. But some of the stuff I did not prep for today's news video. So, us NECA San Diego Comic Con exclusives. Online pre-sale begins later this month, January 26th, 27th, and 28th. Have no idea what they're going to be. Hopefully, they'll start announcing them before we get to these dates, probably the week before, I'm guessing. Um, but NECA is making, like they have been in recent years, looks like they're going to be making them available online. And I want to say last year's NECA exclusives were not that hard to get, at least most of them. So a new line of figures, 1/12 scale figures from Fresh Monkey Fiction. So these are called the Order of the Crimson Moon. So it's kind of interesting. These will be offered exclusively through Big Bad Toy Store. In fact, I believe they're available for pre-order now. So the cost of these are $37.99 each. I assume that you're talking about those. I don't. They're not tech. They're in scale with Monster Force, but I don't think technically they're for the Order of the Crimson Moon. So it's almost like a subline, but they are said to scale with the Monster Force stuff. Kyle, no, Jada Toys did not. I think you're talking about who was it? Jax, I want to say. Gotta find them. Yeah. I believe it was Jax. I'm not sure. It wasn't Final Fight. It was Streets of Rage. So maybe that's not what you're talking about, Kyle. But they were doing a few video game figures as well. These were available at Walmart. So we got the Ultra Beast one. And I think these have already started. I won't swear to it, but I think these have already been starting to show up at Walmart stores. They haven't been available online as far as I know of, but they've been showing up at physical stores. Streets of Rage. So I'm not aware of Streets of Rage, but and definitely I'm not aware of Jada Toys showing off any just other than Mega Man and Street Fighter. I don't think they've announced any other video game figures at this time. Storm has so many different video game licenses that I lose track, so I won't swear to it on Storm Collectibles. But all right, well, we're about at the end of the hour, so I like to keep these midday news live streams to about an hour, just so they're not so long for people who want to watch during the live stream. But sorry, somebody was texting me. But so I think we're going to call, unless you guys have any burning questions, which I may or may not be able to answer. I think we're going to leave it at that. Just real quick, I want to give a shout out to my 2 channel members, Mark Sowerby and Amy V. Much appreciated for them becoming channel members. Not that you have to, but if you're interested in becoming a channel member, please, there is a link in the video description on how you can do that. It's basically